Welcome to Depressive Realism with Phil and Brad. Today is the 12th of July, 2013. How are you doing today, Brad?
Great, it's Friday.
Yeah, Friday. So how did your week play out? You have a good week so far? I haven't really talked to you too much this week.
It wasn't too bad, just work, same old shit, different day.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Well, I guess it could have been worse. We could have been trying to get into Legoland. There's a 63-year-old man who was escorted out of Legoland in Canada. I guess that they frown upon frown upon going into Legoland if you don't have a kid.
Yeah, you have to have a kid, I think it's under 12. No, it's under 16, I believe, to be able to go in, he was with his adult daughter, too. And, Legos have been around for 70 something years now, and he may have grown up with Legos, been a fan of his whole life, and oh, I'll go check out Legoland with my adult daughter. And because he didn't have a kid with him, they denied him buying a ticket, which is really messed up, I think.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty ridiculous. But at the same time, at the age of 63, don't you think you're a little bit old to be playing with Legos?
I don't think so. If you're a fan of it, you just want to go around and check it out. I had full plans to go with my girlfriend at some point to the one that's in Florida to go and check it out.
Well, lucky for you. Orlando doesn't frown. Orlando doesn't frown upon going in there without kids, as opposed to Canada. Do you really think that it's such a bad thing though that they're so strict on keeping the creeps without kids out of Legoland?
I could see him enjoying it without having kids with him. I see why they're doing it too. I guess it makes it a little bit easier on them to only have kids with their respective parents and vice versa. But I can see it both ways. But it's kind of like this just society downturning now that a grown man can't go into a theme park without being accused of being a pedophile.
Yeah, but I guess you got to take the good with the bad. Like you say, you can kind of agree with both of them. I, on the other hand, can't. I I can't wrap my mind around going in there as a 63-year-old man and just being like, oh, you know what? All right, that's cool. I can go ahead and do that, by myself, not
Well, he's with
having
an adult
a
daughter.
kid with me. I still can't.
I think Legos are pretty awesome. There's so much Lego stuff going around too. Like you have Star Wars Legos. If you go online and on the article, his whole house, he has Star Wars Legos and
He may have been a legitimate, I love Legos guy and not in there to try and touch a little kid guy, but
yeah.
at the same time you're going to have those people that are in there for that purpose to try and abduct little Timmy out from underneath his mother's wing.
So I think he was there to diddle some Millennium Falcons. I don't think he was there to diddle any little boys or girls. So I think he should have been able to go in.
Diddling, that's just a horrible word. I guess that there are worse words to use, but that just sounds creepy in its own.
Yeah.
Well, on the other hand, at least he's not in Zimmerman's current predicament where the jury adjourned today without giving any verdict as to whether or not he was guilty or not.
I don't know if I sent it to you, but there's an Onion article. I don't know if you're ever familiar with the Onion, but there's an Onion article with George Zimmerman. He's like, I wish people would be a little more sympathetic about my broken nose.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's what they're there for. They're there to make light of tough situations. But I've been really following the Zimmerman trial to the best of my ability with the limited amount of time I have, and I said it last week, and I'm gonna stick with it. That I believe that he was guilty, but the state did such a horrible job in presenting the evidence that they had that it's made it really hard for the jury to say he's guilty with beyond any reasonable doubt.
The defense did too well, and the prosecution did too poorly for him to be acquitted or to be charged with murder. Now he's either going to get acquitted, and they even wasn't the prosecution now saying oh, we could
they're trying to drop it down for lesser charges. They brought up the charges of manslaughter to try and get it dropped down to that, and I think that they attempted to bring it down to child abuse.
Child abuse.
Yeah, it was like child abuse resulting in the death.
Stop abusing me with your
something
bullets.
like that. Yes, stop abusing me with your bullets, you big half white, half Hispanic man. But I honestly think he's guilty of multiple things, but to try and find him guilty of second degree murder, it's kind of hard to do, especially with the way the state presented their evidence.
Yeah.
I was reading something that they actually even tried doing aggravated assault, and it was like, dude, you're just
Yeah.
hoping that you could throw something out there and
Right.
have the jury buy into it.
That's sad.
It really is, because I think that it's got to the point that the prosecution realized that we're not gonna win this, so
Yeah.
now we're hoping that maybe the jury will feel guilty and go ahead and say he's guilty of something else that we
Right.
can throw out there. And I think that the thing that they're really playing on is, you know, Casey Anthony got off scot free, but everybody knows she did it. I
Right.
mean, it's one of those things. Yeah, you're innocent in court, but when it comes to everyday life situations, you're guilty.
Does it make you confident about the Florida legal system now? If somebody murders you.
It makes me super confident. I mean, God forbid somebody comes down and just wants to end my life. I hope that the state decides to prosecute them a little bit better and provide a little bit more evidence.
One thing this whole case has made me aware of is that, let's say I'm leaving your apartment tonight. We just got done recording the podcast. I get beat to death between your apartment and my car. They're going to go on, and like all those stupid selfies and every retarded Facebook picture I have, those are going to be on all the 24 news channels. I'm like,
Yeah.
I need to replace those. Just in case I
Yeah.
get murdered, I need better Facebook pictures.
I will consult the media in the event you die and see if we can dig up something a little bit
Yeah,
better.
I need some glamour shots of like my hands underneath my chest.
You got to make sure that you're clean shaven and doing
Yeah.
doing a proper pose.
Right.
But but yeah, and I mean, you know, I don't think any of our listeners hate you that much that they're gonna beat you down between my apartment and your car. And hopefully no one in my neighborhood is that violent, considering that I'm just too tired tonight to have to go out there and save you. But while we're doing this whole thing, can you go ahead and write out a will and be sure to include me? That way, in the event something does happen, at least I'm covered.
Right, you can play my Xbox. As long as you can beat Ryan in FIFA, that's all I need to happen if I die.
No promises. But so something that it kind of hits close to both of us, because we both know people who have gone overseas and everything. There's a soldier. This is out of Fort Hood, Texas. That he's using his conscientious objection to dip out of a deployment. He made it clear to his wife and attempted to make it clear once he arrived at his unit that he had a change of heart during basic training, that he no longer wanted to fight in a war or anything like that, and that it was against his beliefs to go to war. Now, my thing with this is, well, also the Army is still planning on deploying him. They're saying, you know what, you're going.
You signed a contract. We just paid all this money to train you.
We'll figure it out once you get overseas. We'll figure it out. My thing with this is, you signed up. You made the volunteer decision that this is what you want to do.
Yeah, you weren't drafted.
Exactly. Draft is gone. You made a volunteer, conscious decision. This is what I want to do. You signed up for it, knowing the risk factors, knowing everything that goes along with it. So for you to turn around and say, you know what, I'm not feeling this, all that tells me is you are being the world's biggest pansy.
Right.
You are being scared shitless of the fact that you might have to go overseas and you might have to deal with people that just want to wring your neck.
I mean, couldn't he get a dishonorable discharge if he wanted to? I thought, is there any way to dip out after basic?
I mean, you can get out, but you got to do stupid stuff that's going to follow you down the road. I mean, you just got to do something that's going to really affect your future getting any other job, because no employer is going to look at you and be like, "Oh, dishonorable discharge from the military. Let's hire you. You seem like a promising person."
I mean, like, now this is hitting the news outlets. I don't think it's helping him anymore either.
Yeah, I mean, but then on the other hand, there's I think that this is being made into too big of a deal at the same time, because I know plenty of people that would trade spots with him and go overseas. I know tons of people that would hop on a deployment if that option was given to them.
You could probably just piss hot for non-military jargon. That's you could just fail a drug test, and that would probably get him.
Yeah, and I mean, there's so many ways, quote unquote, out of it, but he's put in a position that there's got to be somebody who's willing to jump in, take advantage of this opportunity, and just put it all to bed. But I think that the fact that the Army's still going to deploy him, I'm not really holding them at fault because
They
that's
paid all
what
the
they're
money to
supposed to
train him.
do.
Yeah.
And but I think it's kind of ridiculous because sending him overseas, you're putting him in a position that he could end up, putting himself in danger, putting other people in danger of injury or death, and that's a huge deal. I mean, not only is this going to affect him, but now that he's going overseas, it has the possibility of affecting multiple other people.
Like that one guy who went and shot up a bunch of civilians in Afghanistan. That was last year.
Exactly. Stuff like that can happen, and then all that gets turned around and thrown onto other people who are there doing their job, not throwing a fit about having to be there and everything. It's a ridiculous situation to me, and that's why I always tell people whenever they're talking about, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. Are you sure that is what you want to do?
Right.
Like, this isn't a halfway thing. If you're gonna do it, you do it. You don't back out halfway through.
Exactly. I also remember that story that about a year ago too, where there was I remember reading about an Army Ranger who didn't want to get deployed again. He had been deployed like 5 times, and he was they I think they told him, at least in the article, they said they told him like, okay, this is your last one, and then he got back and they're like, all right, you have to go one more time. His unit commander told him he had to go one more time, and he ended up killing himself, so he wouldn't have to go back.
I mean, I can understand it because they're doing tough stuff over there,
Yeah.
but it's what you signed up for.
Right.
You know the risk, you know the hazard, you know the possibilities. So I have a lot of trouble when it comes to feeling pity for people like this. I have a lot of trouble with it.
I mean, it's not just that you enlisted either. You enlist in a wartime.
Exactly. You're enlisting during a time when the world is just spiraling out of control.
Right.
Like, people are just losing their freaking minds. And you know what you're getting yourself into. There's no one cloaking anything. There's no, oh, well, if you go overseas. It's when you go overseas.
Yeah,
like,
everyone knows they're going to get deployed at some point.
At some point, you are going somewhere you don't want to be. And I think that people, once they realize what they're getting themselves into, they throw a little bit of a they throw a little bit of a fit. And they pussy out in the end.
Yeah.
Speaking of the world going out of control, there was a suicide bomber in Kirkuk, Iraq. That we're in the month of Ramadan, so it's huge religious month. Where there's no eating done during the day. There's a lot of time spent with family, friends, stuff like that. It's like if you take Christmas minus the presents, go back to the whole Christianity thing, and expand it for the entire month.
Isn't it also one of those times? I remember watching just certain documentaries like Restrepo and like Camp Leatherneck. Like that, Ramadan's supposed to be one of the times where it goes down. Like I think one of the times that violence or insurgency is supposed to spike is like either after these type of events and also like after harvest time, because that's when they get their money from selling opiates. But this is supposed to be one of the calmer times, right?
It's supposed to be during the day because there's nobody out during the day. Everybody during the day, they're either resting or they're just doing their thing. At night is when everything really speeds up because that's when everybody comes out because it's a dusk till dawn holiday kind of thing. Right. So at night, that's when everybody's coming out, doing their eating, doing their gathering, and all that. Well, there's a group of people in Kirkuk there, doing their thing. I was reading they were playing some game, pretty much guessing what hand the ring is in. I forget what the meaning behind all of it was, but yeah, this guy just comes in and blows himself up and takes out 33 people and injures 26 more.
It's insane.
Yeah, it just kind of makes you wonder. It's like, we pulled out of Iraq, which is great. We're working on pulling out of Afghanistan. Once again, great. But it kind of makes you wonder what's our purpose there in the first place, because obviously we were there for so long trying to train these people, install elected leaders and stuff like that, and then you have something like this happens, and it's just like, wow, that kind of seems like it was time wasted.
Yeah.
I mean, it really makes you go back and wonder about all the lives that were spent over there, that were lost over there. And after pulling out and having all this stuff happen, it's kind of like, well, was it worth it? I mean,
yeah, I think when you look back, even at like USSR and Afghanistan, you just see what they tried and what they did, and the after effects of that didn't really change anything. And then you go in expecting to do the same thing, and yeah, you end up with people who never come home.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I honestly, the whole thing being in Afghanistan, I can kind of understand what our purpose there was, but you would think that we would take a lead from Russia and learn that it's just a bad idea to mess with them. They're toughened people who have been at war with themselves for years. So
Yeah.
who are we to come in and
Yeah.
try and defuse that whole situation?
We don't need to be have a more isolationist policy, I think, for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, I can see how they wanted to go there to try and take the war to them.
There's
but
a really good movie on Netflix, Instant, that I watched a while back. I think it's called Ninth Company. It's about a true story about a Russian squad in Afghanistan. I recommend watching it if you have no idea what's going on over there or have no idea any of the backstory. Definitely give that a watch, and it puts a lot of things in perspective.
Yeah, I mean, the whole situation is just crazy. I mean, then you have everything going on in Egypt. You have Iran going nuts, and it it's kind of scary just thinking about what the possibility for the future is.
Yeah. It doesn't seem like it's getting better.
No,
anytime soon.
it really doesn't. And to make it worse, we have people like Justin Bieber and Miley Cyrus leading the push for our youth.
Do you like how I tagged you on that Miley Cyrus photo on Instagram? Did you get a notification for that?
No, I didn't. I've been so busy lately. I haven't even really
Nice.
paid too much attention to anything going on.
Yeah, I saw him pissing in the bucket. And someone in his camp must have.
Yeah,
leaked
his
that, right?
little clique. Yeah. Oh yeah, the video. Yeah, I saw that. It was I don't know who he thinks he is. Like, yeah, he's a teen sensation, tons of money, more money than I'll ever have in my entire life.
Yeah.
But when he goes around doing what he did, for those of you that don't know what he did, he was in some kind of, I don't know if it was a restaurant or what, but he goes into their janitorial room and just pisses right there in the janitor's bucket, turns around, walks out, sprays some crap on a picture of Bill Clinton, and him and his little clique leave. But they're yelling all their stupid crap about swag and all that stupid shit. But I mean,
Can you say swag again, please?
no.
Can you say twerk?
No.
YOLO?
No, I can't say any of those because then I would have to kill myself.
More upsetting than pissing the bucket for me, at least, was I saw pictures on sport. Was it SB Nation? Is that the one that's on usually at 5 or 6 o'clock? But I saw a picture of Justin Bieber with the Stanley Cup. That was pretty upsetting.
Oh yeah. I saw that. It was they had something. It was tagged. It was like all Miami Heat fans are fans of, I don't even know who was it, the Blackhawks that won.
The Blackhawks.
Yeah, they were like all Miami Heat fans are now saying that they're Blackhawks fan or something like that. I thought it was pretty funny, but he's just such a little douche. I just want to
No, I know he's not a Blackhawks fan. I'm sure from my hockey experience and as much as I read online about hockey, he's a Winnipeg Jets fan. And I know among a lot of people that have superstitions in hockey, like every other sport, it's very bad luck to touch the Stanley Cup if you didn't win it, because it puts kind of a curse that you're not going to win it. So Winnipeg Jets probably not going to win the Stanley Cup anytime soon. I mean, they just re-signed Al Montoya, so I don't think it's going to happen regardless. But I mean, he kind of just screwed his families over.
I don't know what any of that means, but I guess that we can kind of compare it to the former Curse of the Bambino.
Right.
But yeah, he's just you have people like that, and he's not an isolated incident. You have so many people that are younger, like I'm not even saying younger like 12, 13. I'm saying younger like 17, 18. People that are like, you know what, he's doing this, why can't I?
Right.
And it's just going to lead to a bunch of douchebags just running our country. More so than what there already are, and more so than what our generation is bringing on.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I don't remember who the Justin Bieber were when we were in
I think
high
it was
school.
probably like, I don't know. I can't even
See,
give
we
an
don't even know.
estimation.
But we're kind of not that.
We're not hip.
Yeah,
We're not cool. We're not with the in crowd.
Thanks for listening to our podcast, guys.
How does that make you feel, knowing that you're listening to two losers that have no idea what was going on during our high school years? But it's just it's horrible knowing that this guy is looked up to for musical talents that he doesn't have, for just being the paparazzi magnet douchebag. Oh god, I'm getting sick talking about him. So there's a recent push to try and lower student loan rates. I
Failed
think
in the Senate, right?
Yeah, I think the article said that the current rate is 6.8%. I want to say is what it said. And may not seem like a lot, but when you look at a regular student loan, you're looking at $10,000 a semester, roughly.
Yeah, I saw some facts earlier today that some numbers actually that I wanted to pull up while we're talking about this because it's pretty crazy. Because myself, I've been working full time since I was 18, working in IT. I make pretty decent money for what I do now, but I've been looking to start going back to school, and it would involve taking out some student loans. Saw this figure today. Loan advice for college students. Every $20,000 you borrow means a 230-month repayment for 10 years. That's $27,600, or $152 a month repayment for 20 years, $36,600.
So here's my loan advice for college students. Don't do it. That's a lot of money to spend over a long period of time.
So you'd recommend the GI Bill route?
I would definitely recommend enlisting, getting your GI Bill, and then pulling the conscientious objector status. That way you don't have to actually put your service to use. Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
Quarterback for the Lions, signs a 3-year extension worth $53 million. I can't even fathom having that much money.
They didn't even make the playoffs last year.
No, and he's not that good of a quarterback. Trust me, I had him on my fantasy team.
Yeah, I remember you picked him pretty early too.
Well, I thought he was gonna have a good year with Calvin Johnson again. I guess I was wrong.
I mean, Calvin Johnson Megatron did break the receiving record last season, right? Most yards received last year?
Yeah, I think so.
He broke Jerry Rice's record?
You would throw this up, and I don't have any stats in front of me. But yeah,
I'm pretty sure he did. Yeah, so he's not the best quarterback. I mean, I think they could have got a lot more. I mean, when I say more, I don't see them getting like a better quarterback for that amount of money. But I mean, you couldn't get like 4 or 5 years for $53 million. I mean, 3 years, $53 million. I saw like over $40 million. I think like $41 million of it's guaranteed.
That's so much money. It just goes back to what we were talking about last week. Do athletes really deserve to make that much money?
I mean, why are you going to guarantee someone 40-something million right after Hernandez happens?
Yeah, you would think, you would hope that they would learn. But you know what really pisses me off about this? And it's something that I just thought of, and it hit me, and I just got really mad thinking about it. This guy plays for the Detroit Lions.
Right.
One of the most messed up cities, most bankrupt cities in our country. And this guy's making $53 million over 5 years, $41 million of which is guaranteed. Yet, the city is bankrupt and going to shit. Do you think? Let's play the role of Matt Stafford. You can go ahead and be Matt Stafford. I want to hear your opinion on it. I'm going to ask you some questions. So, Mr. Stafford, I couldn't help but notice that you got $41 million of guaranteed money. With our city being in debt as much as it is, are you considering contributing any of that money to any kind of rebuilding plans for maybe opening up some jobs for those that are out of work in the city of Detroit?
Hell no.
There you go. And that's why I think that this is so much bullcrap, because this guy is making $53 million while the city of Detroit is broke. People don't have jobs in the city. It kills me, man. Like,
unless Matt Stafford used some of that $40 million to rename himself Alex Murphy and gets the RoboCop suit, that's the only way that Detroit's gonna get any better because of that.
I mean, really though, if you were to take some of that money, donate it to an education system, open up some more businesses,
even have a police presence in Detroit. I watched a thing that was like it was just like a Fox News report of one of these reporters in Detroit, and this lady had her house broken into, and she called the cops. I don't think anyone got there for at least 6 hours.
I mean,
can you imagine someone breaks in your house and the cops don't get here for at least 6 hours?
Think about it. When you're that bankrupt, how are you going to afford to pay the cops? The guy was probably out doing something on the north side of Detroit, got stopped 12 times on going to the south side of Detroit, and when you're the only cop in Detroit, you can't really do that much.
Jeez. Terrible.
It's ridiculous. Man, that really got me fired up. I can't believe that I thought of something that quickly.
So what you're saying is you want to pick Stafford again for fantasy this year?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
First round pick?
First round. First overall. I hope I get that first overall. That's why I'm going to pick Matt Stafford. Either that or I might waste it on Aaron Hernandez. Speaking of Aaron Hernandez, I have some wonderful Aaron Hernandez updated news. Not sure if you heard this, but he's still in jail.
Nice.
The Patriots, on the other hand, do have a little bit more to worry about. Their corner that they have, Alfonso Denard, got arrested in Nebraska for a DUI. And what's that?
Oh, I saw on Twitter today, on the tweets, that he passed the breathalyzer twice and passed the field sobriety test before he got arrested.
So you're saying that they tried to?
That's what I saw on Twitter today.
I'm not sure how reliable Twitter can be.
It's not. I don't remember who said that. I know it wasn't Schefter. It was like some third party, but that's what I heard.
Was it Aaron Hernandez tweeting from the jail cell?
No, I don't think they give him Twitter in the jail cell.
I'm sure that he etches stuff into the wall, and then somebody comes by, records it, and then tweets it out from there. But I mean, the thing that I think is the greatest about this guy still hasn't served a 30-day sentence for assaulting a police officer. I mean, I don't understand why we value these athletes so high that we don't make them serve out their jail sentences.
The problem I really have with athletes and sports right now is that there's so many things going on that's turning NFL, NHL, soccer into a business. It's so much business now, more than when you were a kid growing up and you idolized a certain player that played for a certain team. It doesn't seem like that loyalty exists anymore at all. Like it's completely business for profit. We're gonna do the best to make money sense. I mean, looking at the NHL alone, like all these long-serving captains that have been with their teams for years, like Daniel Alfredson, Jerome McGinley, Vincent Lecavalier that we talked about last week, Brendan Morrow, all these long-serving captains that get traded away or bought out, or it seems like it's all business now. It's like sports aren't.
I don't know. I just have trouble idolizing these people and holding them on such a high pedestal over regular people when they can go and do something like this and not have to serve out their jail sentence. It's just beyond me. I can't wrap my mind around the idea of these people not having to do a jail sentence. I mean, obviously it takes murder for them to have to do any kind of time.
I think more than being a celebrity or having that higher status, I think it really just comes with the amount of money they have, and the more money you have, the better defense you can get. If you're Paris Hilton or you're Miley Cyrus, you do something stupid, you're going to be able to afford a better lawyer, and then you're probably going to get off with a lesser sentence because you have that better lawyer.
So do you have a preference towards blondes? Because I noticed you didn't say anything about Lindsay Lohan or, you know.
I actually have a preference towards brunettes.
I'm just saying, you seem to you seem to have omitted one of the craziest.
I don't go on TMZ that much. I'm not sure.
I don't go on TMZ either, but I mean, if you look at all these people, and I think it's hilarious that they all got their start at similar places working in Disney.
Yeah, I think it's just coming, like, it must be hard to adjust to normal life growing up like a child star and having money and not going to school and not being grounded at all. So I think that's what leads to a lot of them being.
Clearly, what we need to do is we just need to beat the child stars more. That's the obvious answer.
Right.
So Dzhokhar Tsarnaev, the lone survivor from the Boston bombings, he was brought into court the other day, and he pled not guilty to 30 counts in the Boston bombings.
What an asshole.
I mean,
it's not like you're gonna get off scot-free. One of the charges, though, that seemed to bring a little bit of uproar in my office when we were talking about it, is that he was charged with weapons of mass destruction. And a lot of people, when they hear weapons of mass destruction, they think like a nuclear device.
Right.
But he had a pressure cooker, and he injured over 260 people and killed 3 to 6.
He killed 3 people at the bomb site, and then killed the MIT
guard.
security guard. Actually, it wasn't even a security guard. He was an actual MIT police officer. Gotta give credit where credit is due. That he was a certified law enforcement officer.
Do you think weapons of mass destruction is a correct charge for that? I think it fits.
I believe for the damage done to those people, considering the number of people that were hurt, I believe it fits.
Yeah.
If it was, say, something that went off that didn't hurt as many people, it only hurt, like 10 people or something like that. I like how I say only hurt like 10 people.
Yeah.
But yeah, if it hurt 10 people or fewer or something like that, I would say no. That's a little over the top. But yeah, when you're gonna use something and you injure 200 people, yeah, it's a weapon of mass destruction.
Yeah, I'm with that, and he's gonna plead not guilty, and he's just, I don't know what his end game is here, but I hope they go for the death penalty. I don't see any reason to pay to keep this douchebag alive any longer.
Yeah. Now, when I was watching the news, it was interesting because they were talking that whenever he came up to give his not guilty plea, or plea, they interviewed his, I think it was his high school wrestling coach or something like that. And because I guess that he was speaking with a really thick Russian accent whenever he was making these pleas, and the wrestling coach says he never had that thick of an accent in high school, and it kind of makes you wonder, like, was he just really that good of a cover-up? But it makes me wonder, sleeper cell agent?
Sleeper cell agent, maybe. Speaking of sleeper cell agent, did you see that? I don't know if you know who Anna Chapman is, but she was the really really hot redhead Russian sleeper agent spy that moved back to Russia. I don't remember.
Oh, yeah.
She sent a proposal that she said she would marry Edward Snowden.
Wow. That. Yeah. I don't even know what to say to that.
Say yes.
Say yes. Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Say yes.
I know what he needs to say. Because, if they were going to get married, wouldn't that allow for him to move to Russia?
He's already in Russia right now, but he's stuck in
right,
the
but Russia's saying, no, you can't stay here.
Right, I don't know if they get married, though, how that would...
Yeah, I'm not sure how their whole legal thing works out.
Right.
But, I mean, shoot, if I have any hot girl proposing to me, I'm more than likely going to say yes, just based on the fact that she's hot. Actually, no, I can't say that, because I am a crude judge of stupidity. So I would have to go on a couple dates first.
Sorry, ladies.
Yeah, sorry, ladies. If you have the IQ of a jar of mayonnaise, then we are not meant to be. I know that there are many of you trying to kick down my door as we speak.
Yeah. We're barricaded like a zombie movie.
Oh man, it's intense in here. We got boards and everything. But yeah, I mean.
Does it blow your mind that I looked on YouTube and 65% of our audience is female?
It blows my mind that 1% of our audience is female. It blows my mind that we have females that are actually willing to listen to us talk.
Because this isn't really that much different from us just talking without a microphone.
No, it's really not. I mean, this is a little bit more fact story based than what we're used to talking about.
A little less crude. I censor myself a little bit more.
Gosh, you're censoring yourself more?
Yeah, this is censored, Brad.
That's intense. I mean, I'm clearly censored. I don't drop as many F-bombs on this as I do when I'm getting riled up about something.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it really does blow my mind that we have more than ourselves listening. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Our out of our close to 100 views, about 98 of those might have been me trying to figure out how to listen to this so I can explain it to other people who have not listened.
Do you like to listen to my voice when you're falling asleep at night? Is that what it is?
Yes, actually what I do is whenever I go in to get a shower, I isolate your voice and your voice only. That way I have something entertaining to listen to while the water is raining down on me.
You just stay there like the end of Shawshank Redemption with your arms out.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, I do that while singing "Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls." I don't know why that would be my choice of songs, but I guess being in the shower, it applies.
Yeah.
So, a little bit of local news. This is actually up close to you. It was up off of Bush Boulevard. The Radio Bar and Grill had a bombing.
I never heard about that.
Yeah, neither did I. I was just combing through looking at local news, and whenever I saw North Tampa Bar, I was like, oh no, Peabody's. And I was like, oh wait, it's just Peabody's, that's fine. But no, that does not mean I'm going to do anything to Peabody's. I'm way too lazy to drive to North Tampa for anything that
I think
petty.
you want to go to Peabody's.
I have no desire to go to Peabody's.
I went there last night. It's not that
I
bad.
am so sorry that you went there last night.
It's not that bad anymore.
My likeliness of running into people that I have no desire to talk to is too great.
Yeah.
Running if I go into Peabody's, and that would just provide for awkward situations that, for radio sense, may actually be quite comical, but for my personal sense would probably hurt me deeply, and I would cry at night.
More than you already do.
More than I already do.
I don't know. I managed to go to Peabody's without running into anyone that I didn't want to see.
Well, see, I would try to go in there wearing a mask, but then people would probably think I was trying to hold the place up. So,
Right.
if I've learned anything from Volkswagen commercials, it's don't go into places with a mask on.
And don't go chasing waterfalls.
And don't go chasing waterfalls. I can't even remember the next lines to that song.
Most of the rivers and the lakes that you used to.
That really alarms me that you know the lines to the song.
Yeah, I found this Chrome extension the other day for people who want to get a little technical for a second. I found out that there's an extension for Chrome that you can go on Pandora, and it'll take every single song that you've liked on Pandora and move it over to your Spotify, because I use Spotify now, because I have premium. I'm finding some weird ass shit that I used to listen to, and it's weird. It goes from like Motion City Soundtrack to like Black Dahlia Murder to Armin van Buuren. Like, I don't even remember listening to some of this stuff.
That's alright.
It's like time travel.
For some reason, like, I can go onto like Facebook and everything, and the ads will pop up. I get some weird ads. Like, I had an ad for Playtex the other day.
Nice.
It's like, what do I need Playtex for? Last time I checked, I'm not having that problem, so I don't really know what I'm doing with these. Maybe it's a sign that I'm being a vagina about something. I'm really not sure.
Facebook is convinced that you're a middle-aged lesbian.
Clearly, I mean, next thing you know, it's gonna be like offering me cats and stuff.
Sorry, cat people.
Sorry, cat people. Please don't stop listening to us. Oh, speaking of cats, so today we're going to lunch, and I get in the backseat of my friend's car, because some other douchebag called Shotgun, which I'll get into that story some other time as to how much I hate that game, but I will still play it because I hate sitting in the backseat. So I get in the backseat, and I'm having to push like 6 umbrellas out of the way. And I look at him and I go, dude, are you turning into a 90-year-old woman? There's like 12 umbrellas and a cat back here. I'm going to need you to tidy up a little bit. He just looks at me and he gave me the like most serious look, and it amazed me that he was able to keep a straight face while doing this. He goes, you can never be too prepared for rain. I was like, what? What are you talking about, man?
I went for years and years without having an umbrella in my car because if I got wet, I just didn't care. And now I do have an umbrella because they go out like company ones with our logo on it. It's always in the car, and I'm always going somewhere else where I need to go to the car, and there's rain separating me from getting to the car. So I don't even know why I have an umbrella.
I don't even own an umbrella. I figure, you know what, it's gonna rain. I'm gonna get wet regardless. Let's do this. Let's have fun while we're doing it.
Sing some TLC and stand out in the rain.
Exactly. You know, stand there like Shawshank Redemption in the middle of the Publix parking lot. I have no shame. So in Pasco County, this just goes to speak to how stupid we are as a society and how social media reliant we are.
Well, let's not base all of society on Pasco, because Pasco is pretty retarded.
This is true, but I have a feeling that this won't be an isolated incident. I have a feeling that people would do this
I feel like
elsewhere.
Pasco, Pinellas, what's the one with Dade City in it? What's in the north? I don't know. And Hillsborough, like anything touching.
Oh, you're talking about, it's not Polk County,
I don't know.
is it?
Any
I
of
don't
these,
know.
they're all like inbred retards. Like, let's be honest. Florida is Florida.
Yeah,
It's
I
all
mean,
retard.
there is a lot of just not intelligent people. So this guy, he's 23 years old, puts him right around the same age as us, a little bit younger, and he's wanted. And the Pasco County, I think it was the sheriff's office, posts his picture on their Facebook page as their daily wanted person or whatever.
Right.
He responds to the picture talking about how much bullshit it is that he's wanted for so-and-so, stuff that he didn't do, but because somebody said he did, now he's wanted for it.
It's a good defense.
Why are you going to post on your own wanted picture? I don't understand that.
This was all on Facebook, too?
All on Facebook. And the best reply was he goes on this like 3-thing rant about how he's wanted and everything, and he didn't do anything. And underneath the wanted record people for Pasco County, the sheriff's office, they just reply, If you have any questions about your warrant, feel free to contact us at blah 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 blah.
Right.
And I just have the feeling that that dumbass called in and said, "Hey, if you guys got a problem with me, here I am. I'm at this address. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Come and do something about it."
Sure, they could track you somehow. I mean, Facebook keeps all of your data from when you updated that status from 2 years ago that was really emo and you deleted it before anyone saw it, or at least you thought you deleted it. Facebook still has a record of that. They keep everything. So what IP address, you can actually go and look at yourself, your account, and you can see which devices you have, which computer logged in, those IP addresses, and it doesn't take much to plug that IP address into something that will find you.
Yeah, I mean, that's really bad news for all the emo posts that I've posted in the past 23 years, 24 years.
All those selfies
Mm-hmm.
thought I deleted in time.
Yeah, no, all those selfies are up. All the shower selfies showing you topless and everything.
Oh, you mean bubble bath? I don't do showers.
I'm all about the bubble bath. I can't do that now that I don't have a garden tub anymore. It doesn't seem fitting. When I had the garden tub, I could fill that beast up with bubbles, sink down, have some alone time, light some candles, read a magazine. Man, now I got a little tub that I barely even fit in. It's not happening.
Oh, that's a poor quality of life.
It is, man. I say that everybody should have a garden tub. They should come custom in every apartment, house, everything.
Bert and Ernie style?
Definitely. You want to be my best friend and get in the tub with me?
Only with rubber duckies.
Where did this show just go?
I don't know.
It went to a bad place for a moment.
I'm picturing in my head everyone that's listening right now, and I'm already uncomfortable. So I'm gonna get a lot of text and questions later.
You know what? I really hope you do. And the greatest thing about it is I doubt I'm going to get anything, because I think by now in my life, people have come to expect that of me. Like, they kind of expect me to just do stuff like that, just
Right.
do stupid stuff and potentially homosexual themed things. Wow.
Well, this got a little revealing.
Yeah, well, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. You just gotta put yourself out there and hope that people accept you for who you are. I mean, I'm not gonna judge you for your homosexuality. I don't think that I should be judged for mine.
I mean, I have a girlfriend.
Oh, dude, that doesn't mean crap. Cover-ups.
You're saying that you've seen all the drama that I've gone through, and you're saying that all the girls I've dated has been a cover up?
Exactly.
I don't know. I feel like I'd be a little bit better of a dresser if I was gay.
Yeah, I have the same thing.
Might be able to dance besides doing that.
Dude, I can't even do the fist pump, man. Like, I get all out of beat and everything. I don't know what's going on anymore.
I give it a shot once.
Yeah, Czar. What a horrible trip that was. That was absolutely miserable. I'm sorry for anybody that likes clubs, but those places suck. I feel like less of a human for talking about it.
Yeah.
But so the other day, you might have seen on Facebook, I posted that I went to Publix and it was just absolutely horrible.
Because you live in Brandon.
Because I live in Brandon and not North Tampa, where every Publix trip is a delight, where I get to see my wonderful deli manager and the hot girls that happen to work there. But it doesn't happen anymore.
I fell in love in the parking lot the other day. For real, just parking at Publix and just like going to like walk in.
Yeah, I don't do that in Brandon. I walk into the Publix and try to avoid making all eye contact.
It's like hills have eyes down here.
Dude, I like to say that I just do it in Brandon, the whole avoiding eye contact thing, but I do that everywhere. Like,
Right.
I don't want to socialize with people I don't know. Like, you could be the nicest person in the world. You come up to me and try and socialize with me, I'm probably going to be a dick just because I don't want to talk to you.
It's pretty awesome just to go to Publix and put in headphones and music. That's one way to do it.
I mean, I suppose so, but sometimes I just like seeing how people react to the way I act towards them. It's kind of entertaining sometimes.
And you just like standing in the cereal aisle like the end of that, what's that one movie with Jeremy Renner?
No idea.
Do you know what I'm talking about though?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the name of the
Just
movie.
standing in the cereal aisle just looking stuff. That's how I picture you shopping at Publix.
Dude, I had the craziest trip to Publix because what I used to do whenever I went to the North Tampa Publix, I would make a whole shopping list of stuff that I needed. I mean, I was like a single mom.
Yeah.
I would go out there with my list of crap I needed, go through, pick everything out, walk around with a smile on my face, go buy my items, and leave. This time, I walk into Publix, no list, completely unprepared. I had the whole beard thing going on, looking like I just rolled out of bed, hating the world.
It's like the shopping cart game from Nickelodeon in the 90s where you just run through and you're just like grabbing
That's
some
exactly
shelves.
what it is. I'm walking through just dumping entire shelves into my shopping cart.
Yeah, I need 4 boxes of Honey Nut Cheerios.
Why wouldn't I need 12 boxes of ketchup?
Box ketchup.
Box ketchup, yes.
Delicious.
I happen to love box ketchup. Actually, if it's dehydrated, it's better. But so I'm walking through and I'm trying to pick my items and everything, and one of the Publix employees walks by me. And usually when a Publix employee walks by you, they'll be like, "Oh, hi, how are you today? Can I help you find anything?"
Right.
Man, this bitch walks by me and she just looks at me, looks down at my shopping cart, shakes her head, and walks away. I was like, what the fuck, man? It's not my fault I have 3 boxes of pasta and a little bit of, like, salsa in my my shopping cart. I don't know what I'm going to make with this.
Judgmental Publix workers.
That's what I'm saying, man. I'm just winging it. You should be amazed that there's a guy in here shopping for himself and not getting a bunch of ramen.
You should be proud of me that I'm coming to get groceries because I've gone months without going to the grocery store.
Exactly. It had been so long since I went to the grocery store. If it was
completely up to me, I could eat a Chipotle burrito bowl every single day. I'd be happy.
If it was up to my wallet, I would do the same thing. But so I deal with that judgmental asshole, and I get really mad about it. I'm like, all right, whatever, man. Now I'm just power shopping. Sounds so gay. So
you got leg warmers on, you got the headband, you're like Richard Simmons.
I got this, man. I got this. I had the wristbands on. I'm wiping sweat from my eyes as I'm going through, and so I'm pushing through and everything. I'm grabbing stuff that I think I might possibly need one day in the near future to make a delicious meal for myself, and I get to the point. I'm like, you know what? I've got like $100 of items here, and I still haven't bought myself lunch. So I walk over to the deli, and I'm like, I'm going to have myself a delicious sub. I would like a steak and cheese. So I go walking up, and as I'm walking up, I say very kindly to the gentleman breathing through his mouth behind the counter, "Oh, hello, sir. I would like a steak and cheese on white. Whole, please, boar's head meat." I may not have said the gentleman, but I definitely said...
I'm sure it was that eloquent.
Yeah, it was exactly that. I spoke that clearly. I think it was more to the tone of, "Hey, how you doing today? Can I get a steak and cheese on blah, 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 blah," with my order. So I get up there, and he says, "What kind of sandwich you want?" I was like, I wasn't talking to the other person. Like, I'm pretty sure I just thought... So I was trying to be nice. Maybe he didn't hear me. So I said, "Okay, I would like a steak and cheese on white, boar's head, whole." Okay. So he starts doing all of that. He says, "What kind of cheese do you want?" I said, "Provolone." So he puts the provolone on there, and he gets the meat out and everything. Or he goes to get the meat out, and he goes, "What kind of sandwich do you want?" It's like, okay, now you're just starting to piss me off. Like, now you're being retarded on purpose. So purposely retarded. So I tell him that, he gets the meat out, and then he like takes the cheese and flings it to the side. Like, I've somehow interrupted his day of sandwich making by wanting a steak and cheese.
He's a sandwich artist.
I mean, yeah, sandwich artist. Man, all he's got to do is fry me up a little roast beef, throw it on the sandwich with some cheese, press it, I'm good to go. I'm not that needy. Like, I'm just lazy. I didn't want to make my own sandwich.
Right.
So he starts doing all that. He takes everything away from the front counter, so I can't even stand. Like, I'm just left standing there looking like I'm just staring at the vegetables.
Right.
Like, maybe I just want some shredded lettuce in a bowl. That's all I want. I don't even want the bowl. I just want it in a wrapper. And so he's just back there, and he's eyeing me the entire time, just breathing through his mouth, eyeing me. And he's this short little stumpy troll-looking guy, and I'm just like standing there, minding my business, getting on my phone. And then this lady who, she was pretty old. I'm not going to talk too bad about her, but she was equally rude. She comes up, and she's just like, "Have you already been helped?" I was like, yes, I have. And she goes, "Well, I'm going to need you to move out of the way." I was like, whoa, what the fuck is going on? Is it just National Be a Bitch Day at Publix?
It's gotta be.
Dude,
all the other Publix, especially since living up in Tampa Palms for like 3 years now, never get treated like that. It's gotta be Brandon.
Every Publix I've been to outside of the one in Tampa Palms, I get treated like a piece of crap. And I'm just wondering, do I have a sign that just says, "Treat me like I'm a tool"? Like...
I wasn't going to tell you about it, but now it seems like a great time.
Now it seems like a great time, now that you've discovered it inadvertently. But, so the highlight of my Publix trip is I go up, and the girl, I go up there at first, she seems very nice. She's, being nice to me and everything. And then she says something, and she's like, "Oh, this looks good. Are you going to cook me dinner?" And I'm like, No, I'm gonna cook myself dinner, and then I'm gonna go to sleep and have nightmares about you now hitting on me.
Right.
And what I'm trying to get at with that part of the story is apparently girls want to come here and have me cook for them, and that is it. And the ones that do want me to have me cook for them, the nicest way to put it is they're not my type.
Right.
That's the kindest way to put it that I can think of. I don't consider myself that. I consider myself a very judgmental but equal opportunity person. I'm willing to sacrifice in the looks department for a little bit of common sense and knowledge. Like, I'm willing to make sacrifices on certain things. I don't squint at me. No, I've done it before. There's been a hot girl who's talked to me and everything, and once I found out how stupid she was, I've cut her completely loose.
Like, has there been a smart fat chick lately?
No, there hasn't. I haven't met one. If I met one, I might consider giving her a try. I mean, like, I've met plenty of girls that they're nice girls, and I have no problem being like, hey, you're nice, I can deal with you, solid friendship. There's been girls that it's been like, wow, you are way out of my league. I don't know why you're talking to me, but I'm going to roll with it. Oh, you're retarded. Never mind. I would rather bash my head into a concrete wall.
Hmm.
So, I mean, I need to find that magical unicorn that is a decent looking girl, that is smart, that doesn't annoy the hell out of me.
I mean, I don't think you're going to find that in Brandon.
I don't think I'm going to find that anywhere, which is why I don't try. I determined that today. It is why I don't try, because I am looking for the magical unicorn that does not exist. Therefore, why should I waste my time and energy looking for something that does not exist when I can spend it doing other productive things like trying to pee my name in the dirt?
Fair enough.
I think it's pretty solid. Well, with that said, I think that's a good note to end on, me peeing in the dirt. That is all we have for this evening, so make sure that you like us on Facebook and email us. Recommend us to all of your friends, especially who did we make sure to put down today? Stupid people.
Fat chicks.
Cat. Well, I didn't really put down fat chicks.
Yeah, I think you did. So
And
you haven't met a smart fat chick?
Well, I haven't. We put down cat people a little bit. Make sure you recommend us to them because I'm sure that our insight would be greatly appreciated by them.
That's pretty much it.
I think that's it. So yeah, make sure you recommend us to all your friends, family, anybody that you don't mind being verbally abused in the ears for a good hour. And we'll catch you next week.
Thanks for listening. Love you guys.
I wouldn't say love. Like, slightly enjoy. Have a good one.